First, I'm going to show you toe range of motion exercises. The first one, toe curls. You can do this simple exercise first thing in the morning while you're still lying in bed. Slowly curl all of your toes towards the sole of your foot, then extend them outward toward the ceiling. You can do one foot at a time, or you can do both feet at the same time, but starting with those toe range of motion exercises. The second range of motion is ankle range of motion, starting with dorsiflexion. While seated, maintain good posture and keep your heels on the ground. Then try to raise your toes up towards your shin. Going slowly, trying to get your toes up as high as possible while your heels are firmly planted on the ground. Next, for our ankle range of motion is plantar flexion. This is the opposite range of motion from dorsiflexion. When seated, maintaining good posture with your feet on the floor, pretend as though you're stepping on the gas pedal, pushing your toes down and bringing your heels up off of the ground. Our last one is ankle circles. So while you're seated, you can move your ankles slowly in a clockwise circle, as though there's a pencil between your toes and you're trying to write the letter O. Then go the opposite way and make a counterclockwise circle. Don't forget to do the other ankle. Moving on up to knee range of motion exercises, starting with ball kicks. You can do this either sitting or standing, depending on your comfort level. If you're seated, you'll keep both feet flat on the floor, raise one leg out as if you were trying to kick a ball. Straighten your leg, aiming to get your foot in line with your knee, so your leg makes a straight line parallel to the floor. If you are standing, you will have to shift that balance to the other foot as you perform the ball kick. You can use a chair to hold your balance, and of course, don't forget to do the other leg. Next up for knee range of motion exercises is glute kicks. While standing, bend your knee, trying to bring your heel up to your glute, your butt muscle. You may want to lean on a sturdy countertop, desk, or chair for support. Of course, do the other leg. Moving further on up, we are now at hip range of motion exercises. The first one is leg raises. Holding onto the back of a chair or countertop for support with your right hand, raise your left leg slowly in front of you, aiming to get it parallel with the ground. This move can be very challenging, so just keep your leg in a straight line and try to get it as high as you can. This is very similar to the ball kick for the knee range of motion, but now our leg stays completely straight as we extend that leg up as straight and as high as we can get it. Next is standing jacks. Standing with your right arm holding onto a chair or countertop for support, raise your left leg out to the side as though you are doing the bottom half of a jumping jack. And then of course, switch to the other side using your left hand to support you and extending out your right leg. Our last hip range of motion exercise is the crossbody leg raise. To work your hip joint in the opposite direction, again, standing with our right arm holding onto a chair or countertop for support, raise your left leg forward and then to the right so it crosses your midline. Do this slowly and try to raise your legs steadily. You may feel a slight tension in your hip, and that's totally normal. We tend to not work these outer and inner thigh muscles as much as we should, so that's where that tension could be coming from. Of course, do the other side. Moving on to shoulder range of motion exercises. Our first one can be seen as a hug or just a front raise, and it can be done sitting or standing. But keep your arms loosely by your sides and then raise your arms forward up toward shoulder height, as though you were reaching to give someone in front of you a hug. You can do one arm or both arms together at the same time. Our next one is arm kickbacks. Again, standing or sitting, keep your arms hanging loosely by your sides. And then push your arm back behind you as though you were holding onto ski poles and gently squeeze your shoulder blades together. You'll feel a slight pressure in the back of your triceps muscle, which is the muscle in the back of our upper arm. This can be done both arms together or one arm at one time. Next is T raises. Again, sitting or standing, arms loosely down by our sides, one arm or both arms together. Raise your arms out to the sides, palms facing down, and bring them up to shoulder height, and then slowly lower, just as if though you were trying to make the capital letter T with your body. Lastly, for shoulders is arm circles. Just like the T arm raises, extend your arms to the same height, pin those fingers together, and begin making small circles in a clockwise and a counterclockwise action. Next is elbow range of motion. Sitting or standing, arms loosely down by your side, palms facing forward. Pin those fingertips together and then slowly curl those palms up towards the shoulders and then slowly and in control lower them back down. Just as if you were doing a biceps curl exercise with dumbbells in your hands, we just have no weights for this mobility exercise. Lastly, we have wrist range of motion exercises with wrist curls. With your hands in gentle fists, curl the palms of your hands back toward your forearms. Then go the opposite direction. Curl your hands up and down as though you're trying to curl your knuckles towards your arms.